watching Glitter Gel Pen.
A lifelong, one-sided conversation of us consuming every pop culture podcast ever. Glitter Gel Pen has joined the chat.
Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Glitter Gel Pen.
Episode 28. I'm Jill.
And I'm Melissa.
And before we get started, if you would like to see James Charles date somebody his actual age who actually likes men, then you should subscribe.
Yeah. So this week is like hot topics, but it's really like a bunch of little hot topics from the last 2 weeks that we could have discussed.
But we didn't because there's not anything big that's like crazy this week happening.
There was a little tea that happened like yesterday and today, but I guess we could get started with that.
Okay.
With James Charles. So
yes,
James Charles has finally spoken out. We talked about, I think it was episode 26, we went into detail about the Kayla Malec, Evan Johnson, Zach Sellers, James Charles of it all. We broke it all down. So if you want to watch that episode, go click on the screen now to check it out. But
I saw yesterday that James made a response to everything.
There was a point in my life where I had unexplainable panic attacks. My anxiety had reached a level so high that I'd never seen before, and I had no idea what was going on. The only thing that gave me any relief was therapy. Therapy taught me coping mechanisms to handle these intense feelings of panic and anxiety. I now know how to handle it without becoming completely debilitated, and it really saved me. It allowed me a safe space to work through my thoughts and feelings that I had not yet come to terms with. That's why I'm so excited that this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp was on a mission to making starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as 48 hours. And if you decide you don't feel comfortable with the therapist you were matched with, you can easily switch until you find someone that makes you comfortable. BetterHelp finds greatly qualified therapists and their customer support team is always there if you have any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a service you can trust. If you're looking to try therapy, we've got a chance for you to save some money. You can go to betterhelp.com/glittergelpen or click the link in our description to get 10% off your first month. Now back to the show.
yeah, and it's like he basically said, I'm not going to say anything until the court case happens, but he posted it the day that it was happening. So I'm like, why did you wait until today to say, if that's all that you were going to say, why didn't you just say that?
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of James' video. Do you want to watch it and react, or have you watched it already?
I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched some of it. It's hard with him. Listen, with James Charles, it's kind of hard to get through
I know.
a video like this because he's so manipulative, and not even like in the Shane Dawson way where I feel misted. The whole time I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And it's like after this cancellation, I really thought he can't come back from this, like something like this happening again. Like he just couldn't come back from it. And him completely denying all of it, even though like
there's proof.
And like that guy, Zach Sellers, I think is his name. He like was really good friends with Evan Johnson, and his whole life, or a majority of his life, like at their age, you know, they were really good friends. And then like he heard Kayla's story and was like, even though they had known each other all this time, he was like, oh no, like that guy is like wrong for that.
Yeah.
But yet James, who's friends with Kayla, is
gonna say, I don't support abusers and all this kind of stuff. It's like,
but meanwhile, like we know that he's giving advice to Evan on how to handle the public controversy.
well, and also, I can't ever take an apology or like a statement of something from James Charles seriously ever since back in, I think it was like 2019. Do you remember when he had his like little YouTube show for the makeup artists?
I don't remember.
Like he got other makeup artists, you know, who were not, they didn't have a platform or anything, and he got them for his reality show that he had on YouTube. And one of their challenges, he was like, whoever wins this is going to be a huge beauty guru and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, so.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah. So, like, he was like, if you win this, like, you're going to need to know how to get uncanceled because, you know, you're going to get canceled at some point. So give me your best apology video. And he was like talking about like you gotta fake cry and you gotta do all this, and it's
I
like
didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That part of it anyway.
In today's compact challenge, you guys will be filming your very own apology videos.
Oh my God.
You guys are going to have 15 minutes to run anywhere you want on set and to film a 1-minute, no editing apology video. All right, artists, your time starts. No!
Yeah, so it's
Coming
like
from him, that's like, ooh.
yeah, and so I can never look at any of his like apology or statement videos anymore without thinking that he's just manipulating and
Like
doesn't
he could
actually
teach a
care.
course on how he's doing this
Yeah.
right now. Yeah. And my other thing is like, I feel like he's trying to use like the power of, and you know, we haven't even watched it in full yet, but what I have seen, he is trying to use like the intellect of like the court world to like make people believe you can't speak out about this unless it's over. I don't want to ruin anything in the case. It's like, you're not involved in this case, James.
No.
You involved yourself.
Like you're involved in the social aspect of it, but you're not involved in the actual court case that's
No.
between Kayla and Evan.
Yeah. And if James has nothing to do with any of it and he doesn't stand with this guy, what are you going to reveal to us?
Yeah.
Like, because did you not just say it whenever you said, I do not support Evan Johnson? And it's like, way to wait until the trial or hearing or whatever you would call that is happening to speak out against it, because it's like, I just roll the tape.
Okay.
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form. Let me make that fucking clear. I don't support him, I don't support violence against women, and I sure as hell do not support the disgusting, deplorable, violent, heinous acts that he committed against Kayla Malec behind closed doors.
I mean, it seems like you did, though, whenever you were literally housing him and giving him advice on how to get out of this.
Yeah.
Seemed like it, James.
And there was a witness that saw all of this happen.
I really fucking hope and pray that when this goes to court this week, Kayla gets justice for what that man put her through. At the same time,
That man that you were trying to,
Hook up with.
yeah.
And probably, I'm pretty sure there was evidence that he did.
Yeah.
the videos that I'm currently seeing all over my For You page are disturbing to me. This is not TikTok tea and drama for everyone else's entertainment. This is real people dealing with some really serious shit. The conversation has completely shifted focus away from Kayla Malec and how
I also felt, because I listened to this part, I also felt like him trying to like, he sounds like he's trying to say the right thing and do the right thing, but he's really just trying to turn the light off of what he did by being like, we do not need to be focusing on me in this situation. This is a woman who's been through things, and like, we need
Yeah.
to focus on that and not make the story about me. And it's like, James did this himself, and I just feel like what he's saying is just trying to make people think, oh, like, I shouldn't think about it. Like, it's like he's shaming people that believed the stories about him whenever Kayla was going through this thing.
Yeah, it's all just one big way to deflect.
Yeah.
Be like, don't look at me, look at this over
Yeah.
here.
she was brave enough to speak out about what she went through, to how James Charles involved, the downfall, By Sister 2.0, where's the apology video? It's distracting from the actual issue at hand, which is domestic violence. I have not spoken out about this for a couple of different reasons. The main one being, this is going to court this week. Anything I or anybody else says online can and probably will be used by either Evan's defense attorney or the judge to affect the outcome of its ruling. And I didn't want to put Kayla at any risk for that. I hate that I'm getting online and filming this video right now, but I truthfully have no other choice, because I've also spent the last several weeks trying to get in contact with the only person involved in this that actually matters and needs to hear the truth, and that's Kayla Malec. And she has been unwilling to have a conversation with me.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, it's like obviously something is going on. And
It's like, let's really sit back real quick, James, and just think about, why would she not want to talk to you?
yeah, it's like maybe you housed the person that abused her and then played the other side of it whenever she went through this horrible traumatic thing. And Kayla gave that statement to just Trish that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where she said she didn't like directly say anything because the case hadn't like been brought to court yet, but she said that she stands with everyone that is speaking up on her behalf, which would include Zach. It would include, well, I don't know anyone else. Like the podcast that Zach went on, and I think there was a girl that said, I forget, I don't know, I'm not like super up with this niche of people, but
also how he's like just acting like he would never in his dreams have anything to do with someone who abused women, or especially his friend. It's like, you didn't even take it serious enough when she told you about it and you said, he can I have him?
yeah,
Like she was
that's
telling
everything
you.
we need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's mad that he got
And
caught.
frankly,
Yeah.
I don't fucking blame her. After I watched the laughable interview between Be Better and Zach Sellers, I wouldn't want to have a conversation with me either if I was being fed complete bullshit lies and misinformation from the person whose only source of information is the same man that lied to and abused me for 9 months straight. At this point, I have no choice other than to get online, tell my story, and then prove my story to be true in a court of law. I am suing Zach Sellers and anybody else that thinks it's funny or entertaining to get online and spread defamatory and slanderous lies, misinformation, completely bullshit made-up stories for the sake of views, likes, engagement, and galaxies. I'm done. This all started at the beginning of 2025 when I reached out to Kayla about her and Evan being in a Valentine's Day video together. She told me she couldn't. She was crashing out because they had just broken up because he was crazy. I tried to lighten the mood a little bit and make a lighthearted joke asking could I have him now, and then asked what actually happened between them. All she told me was that he did awful things to her and that I would find out more in her 30-part TikTok series. She said she was upset that she helped build his platform based off of lies and abuse, and whenever she was healed, she was going to get online and expose him. I'm going to be so honest, I did not take this conversation very seriously. And obviously, now knowing what we all do,
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why did
Is
you
it
not
'cause-
take it serious?
Is it because you thought he was hot and you
Yeah.
would have slept with him if that were the case? Like, let's ask these questions maybe before we guide him through a cancellation and give him advice.
Yeah. I'm like just astonished at this is like his attempt at making himself look better, and he's
Defending
like,
himself.
he's like, listen, after she said that they broke up and he did the worst things that a human could do, I didn't really take it that serious.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, what other information is he gonna give after this trial is done? Like, what is he gonna say? And it's over, so like, say it. Like,
Yeah.
let us know how we're wrong.
Yeah, because
Is it
I'm not
because-
seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Is it because Kayla won't talk to you because you did things to her that she would never forgive you for, and you, like, maybe make an apology video to her and be like, I'm sorry, like, that I did, like,
I'm sorry that I didn't take it seriously and that I invited him to my home and I gave him advice. Like,
not, I don't deserve any of this hate. And yeah, I didn't take it serious, but I still don't deserve any of this hate.
yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
no.
I fucking should have. Reading it back now, it is super clear that she was using humor to cope, and that is perfectly fine and valid. But at the time, I genuinely interpreted these messages as a messy breakup. Maybe he cheated, maybe they got into a drunken argument that ended badly. I could have never imagined what she was actually going through behind the scenes. A lot of Kayla's own friends and family have said they had no idea what she was going through. I wish I could go back in time and been there for her, tried to help her. I wish that I would have asked more questions, but frankly, I didn't feel comfortable doing so. First and foremost, she obviously wasn't ready to talk about it yet based on her last message. And secondly, me and Kayla Malec just weren't close friends. I don't say that to take away from her feelings about this. I don't say that to undermine what she went through. We've only met a couple of times. We collabed in 2023. She guest starred on a podcast with me in 2024, and we hung out at our mutual friend's Halloween party back in October. We've never hung out one-on-one. We've never had a deep conversation. I just really didn't know her that well to be able to interpret these messages and have a better idea of what was actually happening behind closed doors. And I wish more than anything I did, because I should have never gotten involved with this, but I did not know what she was going through. I really fucking hate Twitter.
Okay, so I do get this part where he's like, we weren't close friends. Like, we never hung out one-on-one.
I agree with that. Like, I feel like I thought that too whenever people were first, like, saying whatever, because I was like, just because they filmed videos together doesn't mean that they were friends. But if she's texting him,
Yeah.
that I would assume y'all are friends to her.
And I mean, just like, no matter what, like, I really am this way where if like somebody that I'm acquaintances with like broke up with their significant other and was like, yeah, they did like the most awful thing. Like, to me, it's like either, in my mind, that's either like they abused you or they cheated on you. And either way, I'm not going to go like hang out with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you don't, like just as much as you might not be Kayla's friend, why did you run to Evan whenever they were no longer together? Like that's like not good energy.
Like, that's where he's losing me, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And it's like he's still trying to like resonate and like give like reasoning as to why he did what he did, but he's not actually saying anything to make it any better.
Admit it, but I did have a brief friendship with Evan Johnson that started and ended well before I ever learned about any of the violence that was going on behind the scenes. He reached out to me a couple of days later asking me for advice and told me the same exact story that Zach Sellers believed and then repeated on the Be Better podcast, which was that the relationship was toxic, they both said things and did things that they shouldn't have, and a bunch of other stories that genuinely made me believe Evan Johnson was the victim in the situation. He told me that he moved back to Nashville to go to church and get therapy and try to become a better man, and he seemed vulnerable. He seemed real, and he seemed scared that Kayla was going to get online and start telling lies about him, and he knew exactly what to say to relate it back to a situation that I was in that made me have sympathy for him and be on his side. I feel so fucking dumb for ever believing him, but when I was in a similar situation, all I cared about was
No. James is trying to make us feel bad for him.
Yes, he's referring to Bye Sister. And first off, just anyone, if there's anyone who's like so scared that someone's going to get online and expose them, if you're innocent, there's nothing to expose.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
So, because, you know, when you expose people, if you just got online most of the time and just said, like, this person was horrible, people are going to be like, okay, I mean, I hear that, but like, where's the proof? Mm-hmm. So most of the time, people who expose people have some kind of evidence, and it's like, if they're so worried, they wouldn't be if they're innocent.
Yeah. It's also like, you still heard Kayla say the worst things a person can do to someone, and then you still went to him and like heard his story out even. Like, and not that you owe Kayla like all of this even respect or something, but don't try to make us feel bad for you housing and coaching someone through a situation. And it's also like, if this is all true, say we believe James 100%, I'm still like, why did you wait until now to say something? Mm-hmm. If you would have said this 2 weeks ago, I probably would have been like, wow, he like shut it down. He wasn't afraid to face it.
And none of this so far would have changed anything about the legal case.
No,
like,
nothing.
Nothing.
Because he's not
changed.
saying anything.
No.
And he's not involved. Ugh.
So forever believing him, but when I was in a similar situation, all I cared about was anybody treating me like a human being and hearing me out and being there for him, so that's what I tried to provide. We became closer, we would start FaceTiming, he was very suicidal and depressed, and eventually he told me that he wanted to come out to LA to escape and get his mind off things for a weekend, so I invited him out. All we did was sit on the couch, order food, watch movies, but over the course of the weekend,
Birdie.
I slowly started to notice that some of his stories were not exactly lining up. There were inconsistencies, and I started to get worried that I might be on the wrong side of things, and that was confirmed as soon as Kayla noticed that he was at my house and I had to lie to her. I didn't know what to do. I realized then that I was in the middle of
Sorry, he must have locked the door.
That I should have never gotten involved with in the first place, but this man was staying with me, and I didn't know how to get out of it. Later on that night, I told Evan straight up I was uncomfortable, I was upset that I had to lie to her, and that we could not hang out any further. He respected that, and the next morning...
Will you pause it?
As soon as...
All I'm saying is, we know James. I feel like if he were in his house and he felt uncomfortable and this guy is staying with him and he doesn't know what to do about it, the first thing he's going to do is make a freaking video talking and being like, I was manipulated by him. Like, I had no idea. Like, Kayla, I'm like here for you or whatever. It's just like, this is not how this would have went if that was the truth, in my opinion.
No, in my opinion, knowing James's track record, he probably got Evan out there thinking that he was going to like turn him or hook up with him in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like either they did and then Evan wasn't into it and James sent his ass packing.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Evan just didn't want to engage in that at all.
I also wonder did James post this before or after the case was closed? Like before Evan could come out and defend himself? Because Evan's in jail now. Like, he posted it yesterday, but oh my God. What if that is why James waited until today? Because, like, he saw the evidence and knew it was most likely he was going to go to jail. And if Evan would have been found not guilty, James could have just deleted it and claimed it was because of hate.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we cracked it. I think we cracked it. That's why he waited until literally yesterday to post.
He's so calculated.
Yeah. And when he speaks, like, I really only ever listen to him whenever it's some apology spiel, but like
literally,
his voice sounds like he's always whispering,
mm-hmm.
and I hate it. Like, I just like James Charles. We gotta stop watching his TikTok videos. Like,
I like you. I never see anything of his anymore unless it's like him apologizing for some shit he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evan left LA, I immediately started making myself unavailable to him because I recognized that he was not the man he was telling me he was. But it wasn't until a month later, when Kayla uploaded her video, He Doesn't Love You, that I actually got to sit and watch how much of a monster he is. My jaw was on the floor for all 2 hours of that video. I could...
If James's jaw was on the floor during this video, he would have posted about it.
He would have posted and been like, oh my God, you guys, I just watched this. You know, he would have been freaking out about it.
Speaking out about it, like shining light on it, being like, I cannot believe I was ever friends with this person. Like, you would have said something because you saw what the internet was doing.
I really think he never thought he was going to be brought into this, because if he would have done, like, his form of damage control would have been to get it before it got to him, you know, to like speak out against it and be like, oh my God, my jaw was on the floor. I just hung out with them a few months ago and I never would have thought this, and this is insane. So then when they said that he was hanging out with them, he could have been like, I literally said that in my TikTok. Like, I wasn't hiding it, you know?
And if Zach would have remained friends with Evan, or even like been not a supporter, but just not switch sides on him and came out to support Kayla publicly, we would never know any of this. So like, it really is like all thanks to Zach that it's out. And as long as Zach told 100% of the truth, he doesn't have anything to worry about in regards to the James stuff. And there are text messages in a man's phone that's now sitting in prison that will tell the truth of what happened.
Yeah.
Anybody treating me like a human being and hearing me out and being there for him. So that's what I tried to provide. We became closer. We would start FaceTiming. He was very suicidal and depressed. And eventually he told me that he wanted to come out to LA to escape and get his mind off of things for a weekend. So I invited him out. All we did was sit on the couch, order food, watch movies. But over the course of the weekend, I slowly started to notice that some of his stories were not exactly lining up. There were inconsistencies, and I started to get worried that I might be on the wrong side of things, and that was confirmed as soon as Kayla noticed that he was at my house and I had to lie to her. I didn't know what to do. I realized then that I was in the middle of a very fucking messy situation that I should have never gotten involved with in the first place, but this man was staying with me, and I didn't know how to get out of it. Later on that night, I told Evan straight up I was uncomfortable, I was upset that I had to lie to her, and that we could not hang out any further. He respected that, and the next morning, he flew home. As soon as Evan left LA, I immediately started making myself unavailable to him because I recognized that he was not the man he was telling me he was. But it wasn't until a month later, when Kayla uploaded her video, He Doesn't Love You, that I actually got to sit and watch how much of a monster he is. My jaw was on the floor for all 2 hours of that video. I could not believe what I was watching and seeing. The horrendous verbal abuse, the violent physical abuse. I was shocked. I was ashamed for not taking me and Kayla's conversation more seriously. I was embarrassed for ever believing that man's lies and manipulation. And I was angry with myself that I ever allowed that man into my home. It was horrifying, and I'm so proud of Kayla for being able to speak up. A couple of days later, I started getting messages on Instagram from Zach Sellers, Evan's best friend, basically warning me that Evan had lied to both of us and telling me that I should cut him off. I didn't see these messages at first until he made a public TikTok accusing me of still supporting Evan behind the scenes, and I messaged him right away because I was confused. His messages genuinely seemed nice. He seemed like he was checking in, warning me to make sure that I was okay and have cut Evan off because he knew that we were both told the same exact lies and stories from Evan. The only reason he even knew I was involved at all was because he was physically with Evan as his best friend, supporting him every single day. It took me 3 days with Evan to realize that something wasn't right here. It took Zach 3 months. So to act this way privately and then to get online as if I'm some monster was wild.
But my thing is, with that, how he's saying that Zach was friends with Evan till he realized and caught on. My thing with that is that, yes, but he wasn't friends with Kayla.
Yeah.
Like,
and
he wasn't
him and that
texting
guy-
her and having Kayla be like, yeah, he did the worst thing like you could ever do. The way
They
that
grew up
James
together.
was. Yeah.
So it's also different, and like it's also that the moment that everyone knew what Evan had done, Zach was publicly against him, whereas James is just now saying something.
Yeah.
Me. What started off as a video of James Charles supporting Evan Johnson behind the scenes snowballed into more videos, more content, and then live streams. Every single night, Zach has been live asking for galaxies in exchange for showing more receipts. He's been asking his followers for their cities and locations so he can go on tour with Kayla after this is all over with. He's even been asking for donations on PayPal to fund a merch line. This has nothing to do with getting justice for Kayla and everything about making an opportunity for himself. And the perfect one came along when Be Better flew him out to Canada for their podcast interview. Aside from the timeline that I just told you guys, everything else in that hour-long episode is complete bullshit. To start rumors about somebody online is one thing. Unfortunately, I know that that comes with the job, but to publicly accuse them of prostitution is ridiculous. There is no proof, no evidence of any of the ridiculous claims that Zach is making because they did not happen, which is why I have no choice other than to take legal action. But before I do that, I want to quickly take a second and clear the air on some things that have really set me over the edge. First and foremost, Evan Johnson and I did not in any way, shape, or form have a physically sexual relationship.
Lie number one.
Or it was because of Evan not wanting to.
Yeah.
There,
It's also like, why would Zach go online and say 100% lies? Why?
yeah.
What's the value
He
in that?
knows that he's up against people with more money than him. He knows that he would get like a cease and desist or like sued. Like, he's not dumb enough to just go and just make up everything like a little storybook. Like he's an author.
It's too easy to say that the kid just wanted to be famous, because it's like, I understand that could be true. Like if he's on TikTok asking for galaxies, I honestly have no doubt that he is. That's what people do if they're on TikTok. But he's also a TikToker, and that's been what he has done in the past. But it's like, why would someone go online and completely lie about all that?
I just don't think they would.
They wouldn't. And he's threatening legal action, but that'll never happen. It's because there can't be 100% lies in that. It would be too easy of a case.
Yeah.
And like, it would just be handled so easily.
Did not have sex while he was here, and I did not, under any circumstances, pay Evan Johnson for sexual favors. Not in person, and certainly not online through a secret OF account where I'm apparently funding his entire life. That is absurd. Not that it's anybody's business, but I do have an OF account. I'm a grown adult. I barely use it, but Zach, if you would like to see, I will gladly send you a screenshot of my transaction history. I have nothing to hide, and I have not sent Evan Johnson $1 single. Zach claims to know all this information to be true because he pressured Evan into getting drunk and telling him what happened on the trip. I don't know if Evan lied to him to make the trip seem more fun and exciting, or if Zachy literally just made this up for funsies. I would like to believe that that isn't the case and that he was manipulated in this situation as well, but he claims to have seen a video on Evan's phone of him having sex with me. Zach, post it. If you have the receipt, if you have the video evidence, you can upload it. You have my full consent and permission. I've had far worse posted to me online that I didn't consent to. Go right ahead. But you can't because there is no video of something that did not happen. Be Better doesn't even...
Okay.
That's the first thing that he said that I'm like, okay.
That's the first thing that I believe coming from James Charles's mouth.
But
right now.
it's such an extreme thing that it would make people be like, okay, yeah, I believe him now. But so he's saying that Zach is claiming to have a video of them having sex?
Of James and Evan having sex, yeah.
I'm just thinking about that, and I'm like, that could mean a lot of things to different people. I'm imagining like a video that's very like subtly showing two people doing it in a room that is James Charles, but you can't tell that it's James in the video. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
There's some things that like, I don't know, like I could just, that video could be a lot of different things. Like it wouldn't be as black and white as him setting up a camera and someone like doing it. It could be they happen to not show James's head or something.
But if I was James and I knew that I had sex with Evan, like that there was any possibility that someone, that like Evan snuck a video or did something, I would not sit online and say, you have my consent to post it. So therefore I do believe
Yeah, that's true.
that that this didn't happen.
Yeah.
First honest thing I think James is saying.
But Evan could have also just lied that he slept with James for whatever reason, too. Like, there
Yeah.
could have been other... Like, Evan is obviously manipulative, so, like, there's other parts to it, too, that you know.
Yeah.
But, again, this would all feel a lot more genuine if James was coming out 2 weeks ago and being like, I was manipulated by him, too. Like, I
Yes.
didn't know.
And I think James is kind of, what he's doing here is telling a bunch of lies or trying to make himself seem better and then hitting us with something that is a hard, like, truth.
Yeah.
So that we revert back to being like, wow, if this is true, then everything else he said in this video must be true.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Even stand by these claims because he's now added a disclaimer to their interview that says he was not able to verify a single thing that Zach said. Second, there's a rumor going around that I paid Evan Johnson's bail. This is not true. It is a public record that it was Evan's family who got him out. Kayla's own sister has confirmed this.
JC did not bail out EJ. I know who did, and I cannot say anything.
Third, there's a new narrative started by Be Better that I am trying to silence anybody that talks about this issue. First and foremost, this is literally the biggest thing on TikTok right now. I don't understand how anybody could possibly assume that I'm trying to silence people, but Be Better made a video basically saying that I'm working with YouTube behind the scenes to manipulate their algorithm and get their video hidden. I truthfully wish this was possible. I've been making content for 8 long years now. There are videos on YouTube with 5, 10, 20 million views that if I could have gotten them removed, I would have. But Be Better, I know you said you're having your lawyers reach out to YouTube. So YouTube, I give you my full permission to release any communications between myself or my team to you guys about this matter because, again, they don't exist. Zach has also now made a video claiming that my lawyers have reached out to him to threaten him, to silence him, and to offer him hush money. This is not true. Zach, my lawyers cannot contact you directly, so instead they emailed your modeling agency because that is the only contact you have listed. There was no threat, there was no offer, they were simply asking for the contact of your lawyers. I told you I was going to sue you, and this is what the beginning of that process looks like. It really sucks that at this point I am left with no options other than to pursue a case. As for Kayla, I am so fucking sorry that I ever got involved in this. I should have never believed his lies and manipulation. I should have never even responded back to him in the first place, and I'm sorry for hurting you. I genuinely do wish you the absolute best of luck, and I really hope that you get justice for what that man put you through.
So, I mean, we finally got a sorry.
Yeah.
But a genuine sorry? No, I don't think so.
No, and I think you're right. I think he said one thing of the truth because it was one of the last bullet points that he hit to just make you believe everything else that he said. And, like, I just do not believe James Charles at this point.
No.
It's like too many, like, bad things have happened and came up to where it's like, James, did you coincidentally turn out the bad guy again? Mm-hmm. No.
Like,
probably not.
Did somebody just coincidentally, for like the 500th time, come out with something horrible about you and you're just a victim again?
Probably
like,
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the other TikTok, if we can just put it in the video, it's just Kayla celebrating that the trial was won.
And just like that, justice was served. Justice was served. I'm like really happy right now. I'm gonna probably start sobbing, but I'll tell you all the details. But I won. Fucker's in jail right now. Fucker got arrested in front of me. I was the last face he fucking saw. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I've never shaken so much in my life. I was the last face that fucker saw. I'm gonna start sobbing.
Good victory.
I think he got like 18 months in jail for what happened.
That's always so scary, though, like, thinking about it.
It's not a long time.
No, it's not a long time. And, like, that's just long enough for them to kind of, like, fester on the fact that they're in there because of themselves and abusing women. But in their mind, they're in there because of, like, he's in there because of Kayla.
Yeah.
And he's, like, got a long time to think about, like, when I get out, I'm, like, he could do something, you know?
Yeah.
That's always scary to think about.
Yeah, I agree. I always think about that too because it's just like those cases, like they have to be really bad even to send someone to jail. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it sucks that it's that way because it is so scary. And like even pursuing legal action, if you don't win, then, and it really happened and they really are a dangerous person, it's like, that's really scary. That's why most people don't come forward.
Yeah. So go off, Kayla.
Yeah.
Live your life, girl.
So there was another thing in the news. So at first, this headline like caught my attention. It's why I first sent it to you, but I guess it's the way that People magazine does their stuff. It said that Liam Payne's ex-girlfriend gets his $32.2 million estate after he didn't leave a will. And at first I was like, wow, if I was his current girlfriend, I would have been so upset. But, and not because of the money, but just because like that's his ex. But then I realized they have a child together, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And she didn't get it. She's the, what is it?
Administrator.
Yeah, administrator. So
Yeah.
she decides like what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I read the article. They have an 8-year-old child named Bear, and she's able to manage the money, but they currently have limited authority and cannot distribute it. So I imagine once the kid is 18, that would like unlock or something. But I guess in the UK, if someone doesn't have a will, it pretty much 100% of the time goes to any child or the guardian of a child that the person had.
I think that's wild that someone with as many things and as much money as Liam Payne didn't have a will.
I know.
With like children and everything.
But it's like, you're so young. Like, it's not even something you think about. He was probably like 30, like 30, right? 31 maybe when he died. Like,
I think so.
I don't have one.
No, I mean, I don't
mean,
have
but
one either,
we're
but I
also not-
don't have anything.
Yeah, we're also not like 30-something-year-old millionaires with like the property value of his home in the UK alone was like $30 million or something crazy. Maybe it's also because they have laws in the UK that are more to protect like the person's kid. Like their system is so different than ours that like we think about it and we're like, that is irresponsible.
Yeah.
But like maybe there it's more like, no, the government wants to help your child. They don't want to take your things from you.
Yeah, here it's like they would take that, all of that money somehow, or like the house and everything.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't have one. I'm pretty sure that Sloan would be better off with me being alive. Because if I die, I think she's gonna be in debt. You know,
She's gonna have a crazy credit score at age 2.
Yes. But yeah, also, have you ever heard like about the Cheryl Cole stuff?
Okay. What I know about her, or maybe it wasn't her, but there was an ex-girlfriend of Liam's that claimed he had like mentally abused her. Is that right or no?
He had one girlfriend who I think was the ex before his girlfriend that was his girlfriend when he died.
Cheryl is the name of the mother of his child.
Yeah. The girlfriend before the girlfriend when he died was the one who like claimed he was abusive and stuff. She wrote a book.
It was her then.
Yeah, she wrote a book and it like came out, you know, honestly, it came out like I think a few weeks or like a month before he died.
Yeah, and I think it was like alleged that he was like really bothered by it, obviously, and dealing with.
And that's why at first people thought it could have been a suicide. Like,
but
whenever he
it
died.
seemed like it leaned him more into his like addiction issues. Like that's how I was coping with it.
And she was not allowed at the funeral.
Oh,
when they had
wow.
it. Like, because she had just wrote a book blasting him. It's
You
like,
have to feel so guilty because it's like, yeah, he's a celebrity, and like even if you did go through abuse, like if you put something out and then that was the reaction of like what happened just in the natural chain of events, like not that she didn't deserve to like tell her story, but like anybody would feel so guilty in that scenario, like no matter what happened. But and maybe she doesn't, like maybe she's just like, well, all I did was say what happened to me, you know. But the thing is, like, about books and stuff like that is, like, if any of it wasn't true or any of it was a slight bit, like, exaggerated or anything, it's like, that sucks. It's sad.
yeah. But Cheryl Cole, I've always thought it was a little weird that she was an X Factor judge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think she was like a guest judge at some point on their season. And she was a lot older than the boys at the time and stuff. So she kind of like groomed him in a way. And then they ended up getting together and having a child.
I'm not trying to laugh at what's going on. There is a crazy thunderstorm going on outside. And
Yeah.
like us like sitting here talking on the couch with this like soundtrack in the back. It sounds like unreal, but if y'all can hear the thunder,
We're gonna title this like those YouTube videos that's like rain for story time at night.
Yeah.
Listen
Hot
to this to
Topics
fall
with a
asleep.
rain background.
Like we should start doing that hot topics to go to sleep. And that sounds a little more like it should be on OF, you know. But
Yeah, but no, I didn't know that about her, and it is weird that she was a judge and kind of like. Then they had a child together.
yeah, because he was like, hold on, I have to look it up right now. Yeah, so there was a 10-year age gap between them.
Oh wow.
And you know when they were on X Factor, they were like 16. So she's like 26, he's 16, and she's like subconsciously like looking at him that way.
Yeah.
Like,
If that were a man, people would be talking about it more.
yeah, it would have been a bigger deal if they ended up having a kid later.
Yeah. That's
Even though, I mean, he was legal like by the time that they did get together, but still, it's like weird to think about that. So.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. Speaking of age gaps and kind of segueing into our next little topic here is I didn't know that Trisha and Moses were 10 years apart.
Oh, Moses is in his 40s?
He's 10 years older than her. 11, technically. And I don't think it matters. Like, I think that once you're over 25, age really is irrelevant because you're old enough to know, like, better or
Yeah,
not
your
better.
frontal lobe is developed,
Yep,
right?
you're fully capable of making your own decisions. And Trisha, I think she just turned 37, like, today, the day that we're recording this. So, like, it's whatever. But it's also, like, she shames people so much for, like, age gaps in their relationships at all. And it's always a man who's, like, 10 to 15 years older.
Yeah,
and
she's like, ew, what does that old man want to do with that young girl anyways? Like,
yeah.
And
It's just an interesting little tidbit.
I really just stay standing by that Moses swooped his way in there. He saw his bag, and she fell for it, and now that's what it is. And so I'm sure he is a good partner. If she didn't have millions, do I think he would be? Probably not.
Yeah,
But,
I could totally see that.
You know.
And speaking of their relationship, this is something that I only even thought of it after, like, the third week of her talking about it on the podcast. So there is this photo shoot that Walton Goggins did where he's, like, wearing this, like, yellow Speedo. It's, like, penis, like, front and center on the screen, like, in a Speedo type thing, of course. But he's very naked and just very out and whatever.
Oh, my God, he's Baby Billy. Have
Who's
you
that?
watched?
I don't know what that means.
Have you watched Righteous Gemstones?
No.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about that show the last week. I don't know why.
It's funny, and he's one of the main characters, Baby Billy.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. Well, so he does his photo shoot. He's in White Lotus, so he's just, like, popping with that right now. So he does this, and Trisha's obsessed. Like, Walton Goggins is her new obsession. And she keeps asking Moses to do this photo shoot. And he's like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And he says it over and over and over again. And he was like, I would do it, but you would post it somewhere. Like, I would do it, but I don't want to be like this on the internet. And he's like said so many times that he's like uncomfortable and clearly doesn't want to do it. He was like, it'd be one thing if it was private. But then Trisha pressured him into saying he would do it if Walton Goggins comes on the podcast. But like taking your clothes off for a photo shoot if you don't want to do it is like nerve-wracking. Well, a fan gives Trisha a AI generated version of Moses on this body, like with the yellow Speedo. And all I'm saying is if Moses was trying to pressure Trisha into like posing in a bikini, and she kept talking about, and she has talked about it every week, and he has said no. And then finally last week he was like, I'll do it if he comes on the podcast, I guess. And like you can just tell he gets kind of embarrassed whenever she talks about it, and she just persists. And I'm like, even the AI image, I'm like
because there's just no way that the girlies would be so behind this same exact situation if it was a guy talking about his girlfriend. If first he saw a picture of a girl that was like his celebrity crush who took pictures in a bikini, and he was like, babe, you got to take pictures like this. Please take these pictures. I want you to take these pictures so bad. And the girl was like, I mean, I don't really like want to. And he was like, please do it.
He kept pressuring and pressuring and pressuring.
Like the girlies would not be feeling the same.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. So I just thought it was like an interesting like perspective on it, because it was like I haven't seen anybody else talking about this, but I really noticed it whenever like Trisha's sister was on the podcast this past week, and she was like, you should do that for her. You should do that for her. And it's like, I don't know that he should, because he said multiple times that he doesn't want to. And then they brought up, what if he came on the podcast, and then like he finally agreed to it. And it's like, but that also would put Trisha's podcast up higher. So it's like, at that point, you've got Moses posing like this is a celebration of her like getting a better guest. Like, I don't know. I was just like, this is weird, and like no one is talking about it.
Yeah. It's also all just like weird. Like, I mean, how he said pretty much, but just, I mean, too, like if a guy was freaking out about some girl, was like obsessed with her, loved the picture in her bikini, wanted his girlfriend to take the pictures in the bikini, and was like, I want her to come on this podcast. I want her on this podcast so bad. Will you take pictures in the bikini if she comes on this podcast? Like, it's just actually weird if you turn it around.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of conversations where, like, because, you know, Trisha has this thing where she gets, like, really, like, hyper-fixated on someone. And, like, I'm sure it's...
Probably one of her 20 disorders that she self-diagnoses.
Yeah. Yeah. And there have been a lot of moments where, like, Moses was, like... She'd be, like, wanting to do a role in a movie, but she'd be like, Moses, would you be okay if I had to kiss so-and-so for a role? And he's like, probably not. Because, like... He knows how she feels about him, you know? And he's just, like, really honest about that stuff. So I just feel like you're saying, like, if it were the other way around, like...
We would all be like, he's a disgusting pig. She needs to dump him. Like, that's how we would be thinking.
They would be dragging him, for sure.
But speaking of getting dragged, Paige, on the Canceled podcast when they were rating the outfits.
This is so stupid.
This past time. They were critiquing the Coachella outfits, and she did not like... Leah, I didn't know who this was.
She's from Love Island or like one of those like shows.
Yeah.
And all that Paige said was that it was boring. And what's funny is we actually used this clip last week whenever we were talking about the Paige and Brooke tension on the show.
Say it's boring, I don't care, I love it.
It's so boring.
And all she said was, it's so boring.
That the outfit was boring because like, and Tana and Brooke's argument to that was that like Leah herself was the outfit, you know, because like she's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
But then Paige is like, yeah, but like we're rating outfits, you know.
Yeah. It's also like, as an influencer or a celebrity, you posting your Coachella outfit, like part of Coachella is like rating the costumes whenever the weekend is over.
It's like the influencer Met Gala.
Yeah. I don't think Paige said anything wrong. I don't even think calling an outfit boring is offensive because, like,
no.
If someone called, I'm wearing a white tank top and jeans. If someone called this boring, they're right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Say, okay.
But some days you just want to look more simple. So it's like it just doesn't matter. But
and like maybe she was going to Coachella and wanted to like be cool, like in that hot weather, and wanted to be comfortable and knew that she'd still look hot even if she was just in a simple dress, you know?
Yeah, and so Leah commented and said that she didn't even know who this girl is and you don't want my opinion on her outfits. And it's just like, shut.
Yeah. Like you post content to get people talking, and when they're talking you can't get pissed off about it.
Yeah, and like without people like the Canceled podcast like talking about reality TV stars, like who are you?
She says, who even is this girl? And it's like, I'm like, who even are you? Like, I only know about you from them. Yeah.
What is the difference between you two? And like, without media and like shows and podcasts talking about your experience on a reality television show, like, who are you? So you need people to be conversating about you. So like, either ignore it or like, understand that they didn't say anything negative about you, honestly. And she, even like taking it back to what we were saying last week, like, Paige could have been just dissing Brooke in the way that she said that.
Yeah.
Because there was some tension.
I honestly, like, I feel like, listen, I think that we need to blow up because...
we do.
Yeah. Because I would kind of live for this. Like, if somebody was reacting to my outfit and didn't like it, I would, like, think that it was really funny. Like, I'm that kind of person who would find humor in somebody, like, not being just blatantly mean, but they weren't being blatantly mean. So something like that, I would find humor in it and think that it was funny.
I agree. And like whenever we went to the Eras tour, we sent the Swiftologist like our outfits because he's like just known to drag people. And like I wanted him to drag us so bad, and we didn't get picked on his video for us to be discussed. But I was like, please drag us through the mud.
Yeah. That reminds me of whenever I was on X Factor, Simon didn't like our outfits at all. And yeah, he didn't like it. And we thought it was funny.
Do you have a group picture of like what y'all's outfits looked like?
Yeah, for sure.
And when Simon said that we needed to get different outfits.
We needed to look at a fashion magazine.
He said we needed to get a fashion magazine.
Cool.
But he didn't like our outfits. But then Demi came to the rescue and said, yeah, well, you get all your t-shirts from Baby Gap. So, so go off, Demi Lovato.
That's hilarious. So, in other news, the only updates we've really had like around the Blake Lively case is that her and Taylor Swift are friends again. There was an article that came out at the end of April from People magazine that is titled, How Blake Lively and Hurt, in quotes, Taylor Swift were able to recover friendship amid Justin Baldoni lawsuit, from an exclusive source. And I don't know what the point of this PR was. I don't think anybody really cared that they were or were not friends.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this would be something to kind of save Blake's image more than anything, because it's pretty obvious Taylor Swift is distancing herself, because she went from being out with like Ryan and Blake all the time to never being seen with them and like kind of going quiet.
I did see that there was like Ryan and paparazzi all around and stuff, and somebody was just like yelling, and they were like, why did Travis unfollow you?
I saw that.
Ryan, what happened with Travis Kelce?
Ryan, for my kids.
What happened with Travis Kelce?
Oh,
Are you guys good? Are you guys friends?
Ryan, can I have a
How come
selfie?
he unfollowed you?
I saw that.
It's like, bro, calm down. Keep it a little
But
like
you know
lower.
what? You know what? If I were in New York and he were there, I would be doing it
Yeah.
for the pod. I'd be like, why did he unfollow you?
No, but it's the yelling.
I know.
It's like,
I know. It's so dramatic.
it's not just like, Ryan, why did Travis unfollow you? Can you tell us why? They're like, why? Why did they unfollow?
Yeah, so there's news that came out that Travis unfollowed Ryan Reynolds. I guess it had been confirmed. But, like, celebrities don't unfollow each other unless they're trying to let people know that they're not with them.
Yes, because like we talked about with Justin Bieber before, there's the mute button.
Yeah.
And if you are not trying to make a public statement, because you know people are following who you follow and unfollow. Like, they have their notifications on and set.
Yeah.
Especially for people like Blake and Taylor and Ryan right now. And and it's like, you would just mute them if you didn't want to make a statement.
And it's also like, it could be anything. It could be that Travis honestly doesn't like Ryan Reynolds on a personal level, completely aside from the lawsuit. It could be that this People magazine article came out to try to make it look like Taylor is aligning with Blake, even though, like, he's letting them know, like, no, she isn't. Like, I'm not cool with this guy, so, like, we're together. There's just a lot of different ways that it could be interpreted, but it's a statement.
Yeah, it could also be PR, like a PR move, because to keep people talking and keep Taylor Swift in people's thoughts and minds.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she hasn't been seen out a lot recently, and she's just been more, what's the opposite of public? Private.
Yes.
She's just been more private recently, and, you know, maybe it was to, like, keep her being able to be private, but also, like, still having people talk about her, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And there was a sighting of her, like, in Florida a couple of weeks ago. They were spotted, Travis and Taylor. She was spotted walking a dog, and there's no photos of it. It was in a private neighborhood, so nobody photographed it or anything. So she was spotted walking a dog, possibly. It could have not been her, I guess. But on a podcast, Jason Kelce revealed he had these extravagant green velvet couches. When I came back, one of them was pushed against the wall, and I asked, why'd you move the couch? And then found out the puppy had chewed a hole in it. He said that on a podcast, and it was kind of like he so subtly brought up, like, there being the puppy, like, being involved. So it's like there were also rumors they got a dog at the same time. So, like, Taylor Swift is so famous that this is major news. She's a famous... She
got a dog.
Yeah. This is a famous cat lady here.
Oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. I mean,
like, obviously, I know she's a cat lady, and...
She could be changed forever. And the articles I saw were like, this is their test to see how parenting would be. And it's like, come on, y'all.
Like, it ain't that serious.
Yeah.
And then also, I just want to say to that comment, like, listen, everybody listening, if you do not have children, a dog is not the same thing. Like, it's not, it would not be, if you wanted to test this theory out and get a dog with your partner thinking that it'd be a test to see how you would be parenting with them, it's not the same thing.
No,
I promise
you can't put your kid in a cage while you go out for the night.
Yeah. You can't just leave them at home and be like, they're going to be self-sufficient. They can just go eat from their dog bowl. Like, you can't.
It's different.
Yeah, it's very different. So, no shame. And if you don't want kids, that's fine. But I'm just making it known. Don't test that theory and think it's correct. So I looked into Tarayummy and Jake Webber.
Okay.
I looked into them because, we had talked about them a couple episodes ago and kind of didn't know the full lore.
Yeah.
Turns out we pretty much knew most of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a few more things here.
Yeah.
But essentially, I did not know that Jake made Vines initially. I didn't know that.
So he's been around longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, like, he was from Kansas. He made some Vines, and he gained popularity. And then he was on a live stream, and Sam and Colby reached out to him. And at the time, Sam and Colby were unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know, like, we'd have to go into lore of Sam and Colby to go into this, but they were unknown, and they reached out to Jake, and they ended up all, hanging out and becoming friends, and then ended up living together.
Okay.
So when they were living together, they moved and lived in LA, and Tara was from LA, just always.
Yeah.
She grew up there, and she kind of had, through the years, done YouTube, but not popped off with anything. So it was like, kind of like, when you post a video and it doesn't go well and it's not gaining popularity and you're like, this is embarrassing, so I'm going to delete it now.
I watched her for the first time, I think, on BFFs, and she was talking about how, like, her and Jake made their breakup video, and, like, you would think that would be whenever they blew up, but she was like, no, it didn't happen for, like, 6 months after that. She was like, it was completely random when it happened, whenever everybody decided they were, like, a fan of me. She was like, we broke up, and, like, I thought that video might be what propelled or whatever, but she was like, we've been broken up for a long time. Like, whenever I learned about her.
Yeah. But, like, even before she met Jake, she, like, did YouTube videos, and they just, like, weren't popping off. They weren't getting, like, any views. Like, she was not known whatsoever. And so she would kind of, like, make them and then feel embarrassed because, like, nobody watches them. And
I can relate.
Yeah. And then you just delete them.
Yeah.
And that's, like, kind of what she would do. But then she met Jake at an event in 2019 when she was 18 and Jake was 20. And they pretty much started hanging out and they started dating immediately. And then they dated for 4.5 years. So it was until Tara was 23 and Jake was 25. And they made their infamous breakup video and everything like that. And yeah, they stayed friends. And I think that's like what propelled them was the fact that typically, when creators make a breakup video and say like, but we're going to still make content together and we're going to still,
there's like a fallout in a month or two.
Yeah, it's like they might make a couple more videos together to like try and show the audience like we're still good, but eventually it kind of dies down and it falls off and they don't really hang out or talk anymore. Like Liza Koshy and David.
Yeah.
Like I think David and Liza are still like fine with each other, in real life, but
they don't hang out.
No.
They've moved on with their lives.
Yeah.
But now it's like Tara and Jake are like closer than ever.
Like he bought her a car.
Yeah. And that'll make people talk about you.
Yeah. So I think that is what propelled them. The fact that when they broke up, they actually did remain friends and like best friends. It's just something interesting like for people to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it is.
And what's like kept them in the headlines, because it's like we just spoke about them, like, he has a girlfriend, but he vlogs more with Tara, but he's also made statements where he's like, I'm not going to be public like that with a relationship anymore because it just wasn't good for it, which I understand that. So it's, I don't personally understand that, but I understand what he's saying.
Yeah. And there's, we talked about Kerrigan. What's his name?
Carrington.
He's
so odd. How old is he? Can I say that?
Yeah, he's for sure like at least legal age. No, but like he's friends with Tara and Jake, and I don't think they would like hang out with 16-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was trying to find information about him, and like, I don't know, I didn't go deep into the Reddit threads for this. I was just trying to find surface level information.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to know the general story.
Yeah,
so this helps.
And I couldn't with him.
Okay.
Not with
He
Carrington.
makes music. I see his music on my TikTok page
Yeah,
or whatever.
so I think maybe because Jake, I found out, also does music through this. So I think maybe they met probably doing something like that.
Okay.
I would imagine, because I couldn't really find a distinct answer for what I was looking for. But there is also Jake's friend Johnny Gilbert. And he was apparently an OG YouTuber. And he kind of started at the age 11 making videos and stuff. He had messaged Jake on Twitch to be friends. Like, basically, I think he was just like, let's be friends and hang out. And they were like, okay. And so then they started living together and making music on occasion.
Okay.
And I found out, so first off, Johnny's dad died at age 11, and he dropped out of school to be a YouTuber.
Okay.
It worked for him.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, hey.
YouTube Academy, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he moved out at 14 to live with some man who was 24.
Huh.
So, it's kind of giving Quiet on Set.
Yeah.
Like, or NSYNC.
Who did he move in with? It was just a random guy?
I don't know the name.
Okay.
I'm sure.
That's okay. I'm just curious.
I'm sure I can. If I look it up, I'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
But yeah, so he like
Jill did like surface level research, and I just like cracked one of her little codes. What was that guy's name? I'll put it on the screen. Like we weren't planning on doing like a deep dive into this or anything. We just like wanted to know more about them because they came up in Hot Topics.
Yeah, it's not like one of our deep dive episodes, so I wasn't like deep into the Reddit
How did his
threads.
dad die, Jill?
Listen. We're just skimming. This is like skimming the pages, okay? But yeah, so he suffers from depression and stuff, and he has been open about it and talked about it. So yeah, but he is friends with Jake, and then they ended up living together, and they have playfully kissed twice, okay? Like, I know one of them was like a New Year's thing.
Hey, how are you? Good.
And it's like I think both times it's not serious. It's like a, ooh, mwah, like a, that kind of thing. But because of this, it has a bunch of fans on the internet who ship them together.
That's so
and
annoying.
like want them to be together.
Yeah. That's
so
so annoying. They look a lot alike, like the way that they dress and everything. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's like a whole foursquare going on here. It's
Yeah.
like they ship Tara with Carrington. They ship her with Jake. And then they ship Jake with Johnny. And then they ship Jake with Tara. Like it's
the fans are just obsessed with them dating each other.
Yeah, they want them to stay in their little square, and that's it.
But it's also kind of like watching the Friends show, where like you're like, oh, you really want to see Monica and Chandler end up together. You want to see like Joey hook up with Rachel, or But in reality, they're just 6 people, and they're all dating each other, and we're like intrigued by it. So they're just playing into that, which is smart of them. Like for
I mean, it's getting them talked about, and like they stay in people's mouths, and then they're in people's minds rent free.
Yeah.
So
I love Tarayummy. I don't know why. Like, I'm just obsessed with her. I know she's so much younger than us, but like,
she's so pretty. She's honestly not that much younger than us, because
she's not.
No, because if she I
think she just turned 21.
She is. I was thinking 25, but that was Jake's age when they broke up. I was about to say. So yeah, she's like 4 or 5 years younger than us.
Love seeing like the Y2K style comeback on her. Like, she just looks so cool.
Like, if I looked like that, I would dress like that, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, whenever we posted our like first photo shoot of the podcast to that song, I picked that song. It's the Girls song by Dare. I picked it because there was a video of Tarayummy like just walking to it. And I was like, oh yes. Like,
Yeah.
I want to look like that.
I saw that too. But yeah, that's pretty much like it. They're broken up. They still are besties. Jake has a girlfriend. The rest is history.
Your history lesson on
Tarayummy and Jake Webber.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I was at work and I had to explain to someone
why you're Googling these scene kids.
No.
They look at your screen and see Jake and Johnny kissing and they're like, Jill, quit being weird.
Not, okay. It wasn't this exact topic, but us talking about this just made me like think of it. I was talking about JoJo Siwa or something and like the drama, because it's like a full-on like drama going on.
Oh yeah.
You know? And I was like, no, like literally like people are acting like she was cheating. I was saying all this and they just were not understanding like the level. And I was like, okay, none of this matters. I know this doesn't matter, but it's entertaining and that's what it is.
It's like our like weekly show that we watch.
Yes.
It's like it's the weekly show you guys watch if you're here. I mean, y'all get it. Y'all know exactly what we're talking about.
But it is just funny to think about like that I'm a 29-year-old woman who has a like day job and I'm at my day job like Googling. And I'm at my day job Googling Tarayummy and Jake Webber.
I love it. You need to drop out of your job and become a YouTuber.
Yeah, like Johnny.
That is so funny. The other day, Cameron tried to tell me that he tried to argue with me about Justin Bieber being like cornered by a gang member. And, you know, we just discussed this. Y'all will find out more later. But I was like, you don't understand how much I know about Justin Bieber's life timeline since he became a celebrity. Like, please don't try to one-up me on this. Because I was like, I know what video you're referencing. And it was shot in November of 2019. Please stop it.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It's just so funny, like, because I know that people who don't get it are like, you're literally 29, you have no life.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know what? We might not have a life right now, but y'all wait. Y'all give us 3 years and see where we're at.
We used to say, give us 1 year now.
Well, reality.
Now we're like, it's looking more like 3.
No, y'all. Reality has set in. But here's the thing. We are so consistent. We show up every week. And I know I saw a girl say last week, she said she was refreshing waiting for us to pop up. So I was
thank you so much. And, you know, our audience is growing slowly but surely. And so if you are a subscriber or a consistent watcher, thank you so much. Taking this time right now to say thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. So we need to move on to the Met Gala.
Okay.
It happened on Monday.
I've seen a couple looks, but I knew that you were going to put together some looks for
What
this.
I ended up doing, because I was kind of short on time, is Dumois
During your day job?
Yep. Okay. I had to have a job. Dumois posts everyone. So I just put like 5 or 6 Instagram links because she carousels through like the group and she has the names listed of who it is, which most people don't do that.
Okay.
So there was some drama. I only saw the drama because I was actually watching the interviews happen on Vogue.com. And I want you to watch this video. It's Mary J. Blige. She's standing there with Stella McCartney. And I feel like she's like subtly dissing Anna Wintour about not being invited. And, like, I just want to get your thoughts on, like, if you think this is a diss, like, just what you think of it.
Okay.
Stella McCartney. We're not allowed to sing, and I just want to say, can you pick up what I'm putting down? Monday, you went away. I'm not doing a melody. You know what song that is? How many? 7 days.
Sing it. Sing it.
What we doing in this dance with me tonight on these blue stacks?
He's just wearing clothes and shit. Like, you know, we just, I mean.
Yeah, you know,
that's the second time. Well, second time in my life someone has said
what we're doing is
okay.
we're rocking Stella McCarthy.
McCartney.
McCarthy, I love that. And, you know.
McCarthy. Tonight, McCarthy.
We doing it, you know.
Yeah,
you are doing it for the culture.
Yes.
Like,
we are doing it for the culture.
For real.
Yeah,
and this is beautiful. You have to be invited. This is like my 4th time being invited here.
Flex,
I'm very
flex,
grateful.
modest flex.
Come on.
I'm just grateful. It's not a flex. It's just some gratitude. Like
Period.
it's a blessing to be always able to come here, because sometimes they don't invite you all the time. So when you get invited, you did.
Okay.
You know, and when people invite me, I'm grateful because people don't invite me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you earned your seat at the table because you're a legend.
You invited everybody.
I did, but people don't.
Yeah.
And but when people do, I'm very grateful. So thank you, Stella. No, Stella, relax.
And when they do,
it's
you eat though. And when they do, you eat.
But
You show them why you should have been invited the last time they didn't invite you. Then you came with the gold trim hat,
I'm just gonna reframe this.
I take a page out of your book. Because no, Tiana, you know you the flyers. No, I'm serious. You body bag them every time.
Yeah. She said no.
So one thing that Mary doesn't know, she's been invited every fucking year, but
Was she +1? Is that?
No, I think the way it works, I could have it wrong, but I think that the designers buy tables, and then the designers pick who sits at those tables and who fills the seats and who wears their clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Stella McCartney, one of the celebrities that she selected was Mary J. Blige, and I couldn't help but feel like at first, whenever she was like, "I'm not normally like invited. I'm grateful whenever I am invited." Whatever. Didn't think anything of it, but she kept kind of going with it, even though the interviewers were trying to like make it positive, like make it not like a negative thing. Like they killed it on how they like reacted to what she was saying, because I felt like she kept like bringing up the fact that she hasn't been invited in the past. And if you keep watching that video, she says something like, they tried to say that they invited me last year, but if I were invited, my publicist would have told me I had to come. Like, it just keeps going and gets more and more uncomfortable. And I haven't seen anybody talking about that, but I'm just like, not that Mary J. Blige is not iconic, like she really is, but she's not the most relevant person in the world in the year of 2025.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah. See, because I got the opposite vibe.
Okay, what were you thinking?
I got the vibe that more like the interviewers were making it a bigger deal than she was.
Oh, okay.
That was my reaction, was that she was just saying, like, I'm grateful to be here because, you don't get invited every year. Because, I mean, I'm sure, like, most people don't unless they're just consistently relevant every single year. And she's like, so when I do get invited, it's really nice. And they're like, no, well, you tell them why you need to be invited. You like, that kind of thing. I just felt like the interviewers were making it a bigger deal than she was.
I felt like she brought it up a couple of times to make it seem like she wanted to make it known that, like, they don't always include her in the scenarios. So, like, I like that we have, like, different takes on this, because I like hearing that, like, I watched something and you saw something completely different than what I saw. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it is interesting how that works.
Even though that's not what happened in James Charles' case.
No.
But comment and tell us which one of us you agree with, because that is a good conversation in the comments.
But I have a really crazy, like, part right now. Do I look like...
Let me see.
Did Tara and Jake wear off on me?
What? Oh, don't move.
Wait, is it a comb over?
It's... Look, it's just the shape. There's something going on with the shape. We can put this on the screen. It kind of looks like someone just had something rested right here, but it doesn't look bad. I didn't even notice it till you pointed it out.
Let me shake it out. Okay. It was all that Googling of Tara and Jake. Okay, I think maybe I fixed it a little bit.
Okay. All right. So, big news. Rihanna is pregnant.
Okay. What baby is this?
Number 3.
Okay.
The second one was announced at the Super Bowl. Third one's announced at the Met Gala. She never quits.
Yep.
She keeps winning. And I love A$AP Rocky. I really do.
Is that who she's had all of them with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I always think, like, with the Met Gala, I'm always like, in my mind, I don't know that I would be good at it. You know? Like, because this theme, super fine, tailoring black style, like, I would have done something like Hailey Bieber.
Something like Hailey Bieber?
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Did you see what she wore?
Yeah, just like a blazer.
Yeah.
I think she had the most boring outfit.
No, yeah, me too. I'm saying that would be me because I wouldn't know what to do with this theme.
The designers make all of it up.
Okay.
These people are just showing up as canvases.
Okay.
So like
they kind of, because like you said, they buy the tables.
They buy the tables. They pick the
who
celebrities.
they want there to wear what they're thinking in their mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So first up, we have Nicki Minaj. This isn't one of my favorite looks of the evening. I don't like the peplum style. It's just like a lot and not in a good way to me.
She is so pretty though.
Yeah.
Like still.
She looks great.
I like it. Do I think it's like a standout? No.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
So.
Then we have Cardi B.
Ooh, I like this green.
I like the green. I love her hair. Like, I like the flat, like, super thick bob, like, looking thing.
I like this one. I like the ruffles. Looks kind of Renaissance to me, though. Oh, is this Charlie?
It is. It is Charlie. She
Charlie-fied. She is so good at Charlie-fying.
I know the feathers. Like, it looks perfect.
And the sheer skirt with the, like, bathing suit looking bottom. That's so Charlie. And
Did you scroll? There's another one with, like, you can see the whole train of the dress, too.
Yes.
So pretty.
I love that. I love her looks. I don't know how it always looks brat. And it always, it's like you took a fine tailoring thing and made it brat.
I love like the short coat with like panties.
Same.
I love it.
And I love that sheer thing over the panties with the thigh highs. I love this look.
Yes.
Okay, Kylie.
Kylie looks fine.
It's like a typical Kylie silhouette. The corset with the, boobs pushed up and
I like the
everything.
gloves.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Like, I like how high up the gloves go. It looks cool.
And then I like with that wrap thing on.
Oh yeah, I like it from the back. Like with that. That looks really cool.
Yeah. Kim. She kind of is giving Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, I just don't like Kim Kardashian, I think.
Me neither. I feel like if we painted her green, she'd look like she was ready for her role in Wicked.
Yeah. For sure. Jenna Ortega, I love the like whatever that's made out of. Oh, is it like rulers? Or like measuring? Do you zoom in on that? You see what I'm talking about? It's like got numbers on it.
Huh. It might be because it's got, yeah.
Like maybe what they use for tailoring, like they use it on the dress or something. Like that was the way they took it.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's Chapel Roan. Being out of touch.
I sure hope no one talked to her.
I just like, the things that she complains about and then being someone at the Met Gala is like a totally crazy contrast of a person.
Yeah, it's the same. It gives the same as when, who wore that dress to the Met Gala that said "Eat the Rich"?
Oh, I don't know.
Not this year, but it was
I
a
don't
prior
remember.
year.
I'd have to look that one up.
But Chapel Roan being at the Met Gala really just gives that vibe.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I was thinking. The outfit is like cool. It's kind of like Elvis-y or whatever. Andre 3000.
Not the piano on the back.
Oh, yeah.
He's carrying the whole music industry.
And then you got Nicole Scherzinger. Is that how you say her last name? Pussycat Dolls. I like the dress. The cape is obviously just to do it a little extra. Her face is very lifted, right?
Like snatched. Yeah.
They snatched it back. They said, we're going all the way. We're going all the way with this one.
She said, I love when my men wear snatchbacks.
Yeah.
So
Rosalia is one of my worst dressed.
It's too basic.
So whenever I saw it moving in video, it looks kind of hard. I just feel like the cut of the arms.
She looks uncomfortable.
The arms look awful and the hair looks bad. I hate everything about this.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And it looks like no shade if you are getting married on a budget, but it looks like a budget bride.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
There's another celebrity, I forget who wore a dress very similar to this, but it was Sophia Richie. She wore a pretty version of this dress. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we have Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, I mean, it's basic.
Yeah, it's kind of boring to me, too.
It literally it looks like a pencil skirt with a blazer, like what you would go get at Dillard's to go to a really nice job interview. but they added just a little flare at the bottom. And that's it.
Keisha did a video talking about Kendall Jenner and how she like doesn't serve face at all, and like that couldn't be more true in this photograph. She looks like she just hates her life and doesn't want to be there, even when she's smiling.
Yeah, honestly, it's so crazy that out of all of her sisters, if you look at as far as like serving on a red carpet or like posing on a red carpet or anything, she serves the least.
Like,
it's like how is
she's
she
the supermodel?
Yeah, how is she the model?
Yeah. And then we have Hailey Bieber.
Basic, but if I would have had to come up with my own outfit, this is what I would have done because I wouldn't have known what to do.
It's also, she had a video whenever she was walking out of the hotel, she had like a martini in her hand with her outfit, and it kind of served. I was like, her walking out of the hotel on her way to the Met Gala with a full martini glass in her hand, like, I was like, oh, that's badass. I was like, that's so cool. Who's this? Yeah, Janelle Monáe. I actually love this outfit. It's not functional or anything, but as far as the theme and like her face in this outfit is everything.
This? Yeah. I had to double check, make sure we were talking about the same picture.
I love it.
Because
look at her eye monocle.
Yeah, but like the rest is not even an outfit. It's like a tent. It's like a box. It's like a coffin.
I don't know why, but I love this. This is what the Met Gala is about.
I mean, it is out there. Some people, though, I will give credit when they do something out of the box.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time, like, that's what Met Gala is for, like you just said. And it's like, if you play it too safe, it's boring.
Yeah. Like, Hailey Bieber's outfit was so boring.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Natasha Lyonne's dress with her red hair.
I like that.
It looked so cool. At first, I was like, is that Chappell Roan? But then I was like, no. That's the girl from Orange is the New Black, and I had to Google her name.
My face isn't skinny enough for something like this. I would look like the Michelin Man, just a purple version. But it looks cute on her.
The next one is all like White Lotus people. Let me see. Lana Del Rey's
Demi
in here.
Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah. They're leaning into the pinstripe part of the theme, which I think is cool. I do love pinstripes.
Mm-hmm.
Lana Del Rey is looking like a dark angel. The shoulder is just giving me angel wings for some reason.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see her arm, and I was really confused where her arm was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lana's skinny. She got skinny.
I love to see Lana Del Rey at events like this. I'm like, finally, she's being recognized as our princess.
Yeah, I like it. I like the feather. I like that silhouette again. I like the long, like that stops at that spot.
Yeah.
Well, it looks good on skinny people.
Yeah. What is that? It's kind of peplum. It's the same as that one shirt shape, but like in a dress, which I think I like a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I just have to say, Jeremy Allen White, you indeed did not serve. You gave us nothing. He said, go girl, give us nothing.
The men really were, some of them were very boring. Bad Bunny is on the next one, and I don't know about it. I don't know about his look. I find A$AP Rocky so attractive. Like, I don't know if it's Rihanna.
It's probably Rihanna.
But, like, them together, like, I finally discovered, like, Rihanna's Instagram. And I know, like, a lot of people follow her, but, like, I've just followed her recently. And she, like, posts videos of them, like, in their life, like, very casual videos. And I, like, love them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed.
It's so weird thinking back, like, Lana used to date A$AP.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was in the...
Oh, he was in one of her music videos?
He was in the one where she was the Kennedys.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember that.
The red, white, blue, national anthem.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I had to get that title. But yeah.
Then we have Lorde. I hated it. I think.
How?
The back is completely open.
How?
She said she liked this outfit because she felt like a man and a woman. So
I saw that.
I think she's leaning into the gender stuff a little.
And like the androgyny.
Yeah. I like the lace up in the back a lot, like on the skirt. And I like that the back is open, but I just don't like the something.
I don't like the top because, without the back, doesn't do much for the boobage, you know? They kind of just look smushed together a little bit. Yeah. And I know that if there was a back, they could have pushed up better and looked like nice right there. But maybe
her back wouldn't have looked masculine, I guess.
Yeah. And with the boobage, with like a lot of the boobage, maybe it wouldn't have looked as like androgynous as she was going for. So, I mean, I guess I get it for what she was going for.
I feel like her being at the Met Gala is just a sign that she's like 100% on her way back to like everything, you know?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the pop girlies have been inspired by Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're like, Charlie got her moment, I'm gonna come back and get mine.
Yeah, like she showed that you can like go away for 10 years. Not go away, but like just like lose a little bit of relevance and come back and be like number one.
Mm-hmm. I do have a story. Like everybody back in the day when Lorde was at her first prime, because I feel like she's gonna come back to a second prime, you know, at Lorde's first prime. I think I've told you this, but me and our other friend always got comments that we looked like Lorde. And we were at the club and some guy passed me and was like, "Oh my God, you look like Lorde Day."
Not Lorde Day.
I was like, okay, thank you. Oh, we got, what's his name?
Barry Keoghan.
We got Barry Keoghan over here. That's so weird. It'd be so weird to be a celebrity and like go around, like how I said Lana used to be with ASAP.
Yeah,
and now they're at the same Met Gala, and then now Sabrina used to be with Barry, and now they're at the same, and it's like, you know, you're like looking hot.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, are you walking near them to like, I just wonder, like,
if
are
I
you
was
walking
wearing Sabrina's outfit, I definitely would.
Yeah, like, are you walking near them to hope that they're like, dang, she looks good, or like, what are you doing in that moment? I need to know. He kind of looks like he's ready for karate class.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I don't have much to say about that outfit, but I love the next outfit, which is Joey
I was
King.
about to say, I really am digging this. I like this.
So fun, funky, and like I just love the mix of prints and colors and all of it. And I also just really like Joey King.
Me too. I really like her. Like, just, have you ever watched clips of her and Jacob Elordi? It's like so cute because she's just like a quirky little funny girl, and like, yeah, he's just hot, and it was,
and he's just hot,
and that's it. She was like always trying to like bring a piece of cardboard to life when they were together. It was cute. But yeah, I really like this outfit. Anne Hathaway, what are you doing? She actually looks like she's just like in the office for the day.
Yeah, I don't like this look. The white button-up blouse. That's what I don't like. It's too like casual, and I know that that's like on theme. Like I get it, but I just don't love the look. I also don't like the skirt. I don't like horizontal stripes on anything.
And also, she's kind of giving. She literally looks like Miranda Priestley in Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like she's just in that office being like, "Go and get me this book that hasn't even been released yet for my 5-year-old, or else you're fired."
Diana Ross had a big moment on the carpet because her dress was just so long, and she hasn't been to the Met Gala since 2003. Okay. So this is a big moment for her. I thought she looked great.
I like the like feathery cape jacket thing.
Yep, I love it. Then we have Sadie Sink.
Haven't seen her in a while.
I know. She's been kind of quiet, but I feel like she's been working on stuff.
Probably working on Stranger Things for the past 10 years.
Oh, that's true.
They take forever, always.
I love her hair.
She's really pretty, like, in the face.
I really liked Zoe Saldana's outfit. I know it's a little weird, but I just really, like, love, like, the buttons with the contrasting colored collar. Like, I just really liked it. Pamela Anderson. Look, I know that her whole thing is not wearing makeup. And Jill, I looked at this image and I was like, do I not like the look because she's barefaced? And I was like, no, it's the freaking hair and the dress. I hate this.
Yeah, the dress is not it. Like, if you would have told people when she was doing Baywatch that she'd show up to the Met Gala in this.
Like, it looks like you've copy and pasted, like, a magnet dress that we used to play with whenever we were, like,
it really
little girls.
does.
It looks like that because the neck hole is so big, but her bangs I cannot deal with the feminist bangs on Pamela Anderson. I cannot deal.
She tried to get behind the micro bang trend, and I don't think it was for you, Pamela.
She's my worst dressed.
But also, I am a little skeptical that she's barefaced. I think she's wearing no makeup.
I mean, the face is fine. She's
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson.
No, I know, but it's just been a big thing recently that she's like, I'm not wearing makeup. And it's like, I think you're wearing no makeup. But
yeah.
I digress. I always like Gigi Hadid.
Yeah, I did too.
She's always
this was her
slays.
30th birthday as well.
She's looking like a Grecian goddess.
Yeah, I really like the color.
Who is this?
Tiana Taylor. Honestly, I don't know like what she's from or anything, but she did some of the interviews for Vogue, and her look was one of my favorite ones, like all together. And like under her hat, she like dressed up like a do-rag that went down into her cape, and it was just so cool, like the way that she did it. But
I do like it. Something about it gives pirate to me.
Yeah,
I like
for
it,
sure.
but like in a cool fashion forward kind of way.
Yeah, I think that she was one of the best dressed ones for sure.
Then there's Sydney Sweeney, who she always looks good. Like,
but I hate that dress.
Yeah, no, the outfit isn't good, but she looks good just because she is gorgeous.
I know, but like I hate that dress. It reminds me of like what they sell at like Belk's and Dillard's.
Like it reminds me of what a still kind of fashiony mother of the bride would wear.
Yeah.
To a wedding.
Yeah.
So our best dressed, I think both of us can agree that we thought Sabrina Carpenter's outfit slayed.
I would say Sabrina or Tiana, because what's weird is they both did red, and like there wasn't a lot of red this year, and I think like Sabrina did more of like a burgundy, like maroon, whereas Tiana did like the bright red. But best dressed guy was Shabuzi. He had like these beads that came like across the front, and a lot of the guys' clothes, it wasn't super interesting, even though
they weren't really giving much.
Yeah, even though this was like men's fashion. So, but I thought Shabuzi had a nice outfit. But least favorite was Rosalia, Sydney Sweeney, and Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Pamela was bad.
She really takes the cake on this.
She
one.
does. I think that she is our winner for losing.
Yeah. Oh, and Anna Wintour's dress that she wore on the red carpet had a stain, which I just thought was kind of iconic.
That is. Okay. Well.
What's new with you?
I swore I had something.
You've been in the Tarayummy and Jake Webber rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to get, hopefully, possibly, maybe, go into a consultation to see about getting some masseter Botox on Monday.
Okay.
So.
I woke up the other day with my top lip kind of swollen.
And you were like, oh.
I was kind of like, you know, like
pouting.
I was like, oh, it doesn't look bad.
I would have taken a lot of selfies if I was you. I've been like, no filter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm doing it more I have TMJ. Like, know for a fact that I have TMJ because I had a surgery, and fun fact, my jaw was made of metal.
It still is?
Yeah. It was, we had a whole surgery, and they
wow.
pulled up my jaw and replaced it with a bar and screw, and like gum will grow over it. So it's not like if you touch in there, it's like hard metal, but it is, instead of bone, it's metal.
Interesting.
And
she's also been to Africa.
Yeah, I have.
I didn't know that about you.
You found that out when we went to DC. You were like, Jill, stop it right now. I'm like, I got some pictures. But yeah, I just think that I clench a lot because of my TMJ and stuff. And I've heard that masseter Botox really helps that. So I'm going to a TMJ specialist, and hopefully he prescribes me the injections so that insurance will cover it.
Very nice.
So we're going to see about that.
Wonderful.
And I'll keep everybody who is so invested updated.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next video will be
What's up with you?
Oh, yeah.
You're just not going to talk about yourself? You were eager last week.
I don't remember what I was eager about. But this week, I'm just getting ready to go out of town. You know how you got a lot of stuff to do before you leave so that you can leave and whatever. Just been doing stuff like that, getting ready to go, like ordering sunscreen. You know, like
not the sunscreen.
Yeah, honestly, like, vacations are going to be fun, but like I'm excited to put out the video that's coming out.
Me too. I have been waiting on our 2 like pre-filmed deep dives that we have. I've been waiting for the time to be able to release those.
The next one that's coming out will be, because we're not going to do Hot Topics next Monday, but I'm just excited for y'all to hear the video.
Like, I think they're going to be our best videos.
I do too.
The next 2
deep dives
that come out. Yeah,
I agree. I'm excited to like see the response and everything. So
me too.
Yep.
So, like I said at the beginning, if you want to see James Charles date somebody who is actually his age and likes men, then click the subscribe button.
We upload new episodes every Monday and rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We see you, Rachel, on Spotify. We see you, Rachel, on Spotify, and we think that you commenting on our stuff is getting us out to new audiences on Spotify. So thank you so much to Rachel.
Thank you for your comments.
Be like Rachel. Go comment, rate 5 stars, do it all.
Yeah,
and,
so then we can shout you out and not just Rachel, because right now Rachel's like whooping all your butts, okay? Yeah. In the comment section.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you Monday.
TTYL.
Bye.
She's 21, not a savage, but she got a little bit.